Hello, this is FPL fan back with another video. In this video, I'm going to go through my last week game week, the fixtures coming up, the top XG, top XA, and my team, the team selection. So yes, let's go for the team. So for game week 1, it wasn't the start that I wanted. I only got 38 points, 7.48 million in the world. Not the greatest start, but very recoverable. You've got to bear in mind the average points was 50, and a lot of people that had a so-called great start was due to their bench boost. So Verbruggen got a clean sheet, was very happy about. Shaw didn't do too well, only got 1 point. Certainly didn't see Manu losing to Hull, let alone not getting a clean sheet. Musquera did what he said as the tin. Arsenal defence, clean sheets, got to be happy with that. Nico Williams was quite unlucky because it took a worldie of a free kick to break the deadlock against Nottingham Forest. Bruno Fernandes, doubly disappointed just because he was supposed to have a field day against Hull. That didn't work out. Vert, I'm slightly worried about. I picked him because he plays the number 10 at Liverpool and plays as part of the front two. But with Vert, it was disappointing and he didn't last the full 90 minutes. So that is my only slight worry with the picks at this moment in time. In Buemo, didn't score against Hull, but when I was seeing the highlights, he actually looked quite good. And another day, he could have scored at least 2 goals. Gross was very unlucky because I saw there was a penalty incident and he could have taken that penalty. So yes, a bit disappointing with 2 points, but with Gross he is 5.5 million, and so you can't expect the world from him. Thiago, on the other hand, talking about penalties, Thiago missing his penalty hitting the post. So he was the biggest disappointment because he got 0 points. Other strikers would get two because they haven't missed penalties. So he was my slight differential, and so with Thiago, I was very disappointed with because that penalty missed because the point swing is very large. So if he scores that penalty, he probably has at least 8 points. Haaland was disappointing, so only getting 4 points. He didn't score. But João Pedro was very good. The Chelsea front three looked absolutely juicy. You had Palmer drifting everywhere. You had João Pedro scoring, doing an assist. Morgan Rogers, like their front three looked top. So that's what I'd say. So the next part of the video, we're gonna go through Rob T, who's a great person in the FPL community, and it goes through the fixtures and the clean sheet odds. So as you can see from here, Manchester City against Crystal Palace is the first on Friday. So Man City are projected to do 1.94 goals, and the clean sheet is 35. So if you've got a Man City asset, that would be good. So obviously your Haalands of this world, Guardiola. Liverpool is another one that is quite good. They play first thing and on Saturday, so they're they're up for 2.13 goals. Um, I'm not sure about the clean sheet just because their defense is a bit dodgy. So that's what I would say. Bournemouth Everton is very interesting. Coventry Hull is a good one. They're two evenly matched teams. That's what I'll say. Tottenham against Newcastle. So I'm not sure about that because Newcastle did look sharp and very good on the break. Chelsea against Brighton, that could be a great fixture. Um, so your João Pedros, your Palmers, so that could be good for goals. Leeds against Brentford, so this is quite a tricky one because Leeds are good at home. They do play with a back five, but I do fancy Brentford to score a goal at least. Sunderland against Fulham, that's a very interesting lineup because they both want to bounce back from their defeats. Manu against Ipswich, so that is a big one. So it says 2.16 for goals as a projection and clean sheet. So first of all, Manu played Hull and they didn't win. And Ipswich, their signings this summer have been absolutely good. So they've got a World Cup winner in Palacios. They've got Tammy Abraham up front. They have spent big money. So basically, they followed the Sunderland model of getting really high quality players. So that would be a much more even game. Aston Villa against Arsenal. So Villa are all over the place. It's a totally rebuilt squad. And so I'm expecting Arsenal to win. So I'd actually argue that maybe Arsenal should be having 2 goals at least, and I expect them to keep a clean sheet. Emery can damage Arsenal, but at this moment in time, with the whole changeover with their squad, I'm expecting Arsenal to have a comprehension win. So in the next video, we're going to go through the XG. So for Gameweek 1, as you can see, this is a stat called understat, which is free and good for data. So Isaac was really good in terms of XG. He got 1.41, so he could be due a goal soon. Hinselwood was really good for Brighton when they won 4-0. He scored 2 goals. He got 1.4 XG. De Grouper, who's a 4.5 defender, he scored a goal and he also scored midweek and he had 1.38 XG, so he was really good. Marteta wasn't good because he got 1.32 XG and didn't score, so he could pick up. Vissa was interesting because he was playing as a number 10 and still got a 0.97 XG. Thiago, so I'm guessing with Thiago, that's mainly because of the penalty miss. Dominic Szoboszlai scored, and that's because of his penalty with 0.83. So you've got that. Coyote was good with his goal, 0.82. But bear in mind, that is a set piece. So he might not always be good for set pieces in terms of scoring goals because the centre backs are good. And in midweek, Collins scored 2 goals. So beware of that. Gonzalo Garcia, that was interesting. He scored 0.8 XG. Briaco Saka, very good with his goal from a 0.78 XG. So the next part is actually XA, which is great for sisters. So from there, even though Crystal Palace lost, Eddie Nketiah was very good for his creativity. He got 1.32 XA, so that was really good. Rutter has been playing up front for Brighton. He's been good for assisting, so you got 0.91. Diogo Gomez has been playing on the right wing, only 5 million. So he's been good, 0.81 in terms of XA. So good creativity there. It's important to say Rutter is only 5.5 million. Hume, the 4 million defender from Sunderland, he was very good for creativity wise, 0.81. Fata Vujovic, 0.69 XA, that's really good. And you can watch out because he plays Man U and he will probably start on the right wing for them. Shirky didn't start, but he came off the bench. 0.66. That's really good creativity, and he got 2 assists, so he did slightly overperform. Lewis Hall, very good creativity, so you can put him on your list. 0.63 XA. Indai at 0.61 XA, very good creativity, and he got the assist as well. Jensen 0.59, and Haito very interesting with 0.59. So the next part of the video is my team. So for the team selection, I've decided not to do any transfers just because I think it'll be a bit too knee-jerk, but I haven't made a change to the starting lineup. So in goal, I've got Verbruggen because he's my only starting goalkeeper. I've got Luke Shaw playing against Ipswich, so I'm expecting it to be an end-to-end game. We've got Mosquera against Aston Villa, so I'm expecting Arsenal to keep the clean sheet. I've got Van Iwek of Coventry. Coventry play home, and they probably would want to beat Hull because hypothetically, if Hull beat them, they're 6 points below Hull. So I would almost describe it as a must-win game for Coventry, even though it's the second game of the season. I've got Bruno Fernandes against Ipswich, so I'm hoping him to pick up his creativity. Verts hoping for a much better performance against Forest. Embuemo, so he was good against the Hull, and I think he will score this game week because he looked very, very sharp. Even though he's playing from off the right and not up front, he still looked very sharp. Gross against Chelsea, so he is my cheap midfielder, and you never know. Chelsea did concede 2 goals against Fulham, so for Brighton, he'll be good for their creativity. And with the front three, kept it the same. So Thiago against Leeds, I think if Brentford are going to score against Leeds, Thiago will be a big part of it this time. Haaland will be my captain. because just the fact that he didn't score on the first day, he normally has a great start to the season, and I think he'll be itching for the goals against Crystal Palace. And last but not least, I got João Pedro against Brighton. João Pedro was excellent against Fulham, and I think he'll be desperate to score against his former side. If you liked this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. This is FPL Fem, and I'm out.